Hi, Marion Emberson here. I'm going to be showing you this lovely little technique where we're going to emboss the background and then put on some foiling on top. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to be using some foil, obviously. We're going to use the Pick and Mix stamps from Maya Isaacson, the Secret Garden background stamp from myself, the Wow Embossing Pad, which is just fabulous, bonding powder. I'm going to use Beautiful because I just love this colour and it just looks so perfect with it. We need some white cardstock, and I've already die cut a white chipboard heart. I've used white because I want the true colour to show through. So the first thing I want to do is push that right into that ink pad. I want to cover the whole thing in ink. I want to just make sure the whole thing's wet so that everywhere I put the powder, it's going to stick to it. So then I'm going to take my Beautiful, sprinkle it all over, and then I'm going to shake it off and then heat set it just as normal. And the reason I've used Beautiful is it's one of our clear-based powders. And with a clear base, you just get the most beautiful enamel effect. It's absolutely stunning. It really is. You can just play to your heart's content. And you're going to see, like when I do this, I've actually sped it up for you because we all know how to heat it up. So whilst I've heated it up, I've kept it nice and warm. So I kept that gun on there for a little while. And then I sprinkled another layer on there because now I want to get a bit more depth of colour. So you could go, like that first layer was absolutely fine to leave as is. But if you want to go for more depth of colour, then you can just keep building your layers up. And I went for 3 layers on this and I was happy with that. So it is about just sort of playing around until you sort of see what you like and then think, yep, that's it, I'm good with that. So you're just going to heat it through, and you can see that even now, I'm going to bring it up to the camera and show you in a minute, but it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's like an enamel, it really is. So can you see that just shining in there? So and that's why I've used white cardstock underneath, because I wanted that colour to show through. So what we want to do now, we're going to actually apply bonding powder. So I want to make sure that that's cooled down, that heart, and I want to make sure that the bonding powder isn't going to stick to anything other than the stamp design. So even though this is an anti-static bag, I could use talcum powder, corn flour, anything like that, anything to actually absorb that moisture, so any moisture that's on there, and there will be moisture on there from my hands where I've touched it. Also the heat can make things stick to it as well, so that's why I say you want it to cool down. So that's why I've sort of dusted that over. So I've inked up Secret Garden. I'm going to take the heart and then I'm just going to push it into it and just push around just so that I transfer that design onto the heart. Okay, when I'm happy with that, I can take that off. And now I'm going to pop the bonding powder on there. And I'm just going to sprinkle this all over. And then I'll shake off the excess. You want to be careful that you don't hold it or touch it on the design. Always try and hold things from the sides. That way any moisture from your fingers, 1, you're not going to smudge the design, but 2, any moisture from your fingers is not going to go on there. So always try and use it from the sides. So with bonding powder, you still heat up as normal. So I've just heated it up and then I've put the foil straight on there and I'm just going to rub it over, not too much. The trick now, and this is where a lot of people go wrong, they want to just pull it off straight away. If you pull it off straight away, all that's going to do is the bonding powder is still hot and sticky, so that's just going to pull it off with it. So you want to make sure it's nice and cool. So you can just get on and do some other things in the meantime. So I'm going to take my Love You stamp and then just ink that up and stamp it on my little banner. I thought this was quite apt as it's my 30th wedding anniversary today, so I thought I'd go a little bit slushy and do a little Love You card. That, and it's something to give to my husband tonight. So you want to make sure that ink's dry. And then I'm just going to pop a little foam pad on the back. All this time, the foil is getting cooler on that heart, and you're not even thinking about that. So I'm just going to leave that there. Now I can feel that. I can feel it's nice and cool, and just gently give it a little pull from the side, and there you go. You've got the reveal of that foil on there. You've also got the reverse of the pattern on that foil, so you can cut that out and use that as well, so you get no wastage. So it's just absolutely gorgeous. It reminds me of Tiffany, especially with this colour Beautiful. It's just like a Tiffany enamel heart. So I've taken a piece of white cardstock, and then I'm just going to mount the heart onto the white cardstock, just using the little foam pads from Sticks 2. And I'm just going to stick that down. And then where I put a foam pad on the little sentiment banner earlier, I'll just pop that on there, get it to where I want it. And then now I'm thinking, I want the whole thing to stand out from the back of the card. So the folded card I've made is from black cardstock. So rather than using double-sided tape to stick it down, I'm going to go with those foam pads again. So it just gives it a bit more dimension. They're really lovely, these foam pads, because they're a nice size as well. So although I'm going to use quite a few because I don't want it to, you know, push in and sag anywhere, it's worth that little bit of effort just to put some, you know, some extra ones on. And then I always give it a press down just to make sure that they're stuck. And then the backs of them just come off nice and easy then. So you want to just peel all those off. And then you're going to stick it down to your folded black cardstock. And then you've got the perfect little anniversary card. Cheeky, I know, but hey ho. There we go. We're just going to line that up. Very simplistic, but it just looks beautiful. And there you go, a nice, quick, easy card.